What's up, guys? Ricky here with another review on the McFarlane Toys Batman Hush from Hush. So here we go. So yeah, I'm really liking this. So when I saw this at the store, so I got this at Books A Million, and it looks good. That's probably one of the best Batman head sculpts I've seen by McFarlane, in my opinion. I think it looks really, really good. Tones look good. I like the old original color. So you have like the gray with the blue, which looks really nice. Cool yellow belt. Cool cape. Looks like it's the same body as the Vampire Batman, which I reviewed earlier. And we'll do some comparisons of that later. Looks like it came with some batarangs. Looks like it also came with some extra fists. Yeah, looking pretty good. I'm liking that a lot. Here's the side of the package. Here's the back of the package with some artwork. So Batman Hush. Looks really, really good there. Really digging that. And then here's the side of the package. Perfect. Okay, so let's open this up and see what we're looking at. Okay, here we go. Here is Batman from Hush out of the package. And I can't say enough good things about this Batman. Like, they really knocked it out of the park. So I absolutely love this. As far as Batman figures go, this one actually bought for a buddy. Picked it up. I'm probably going to have to go to the store and also buy one for myself, I think, after I do this review. Because this is a really sweet figure. So I did purchase this one at Books A Million. They had like 3 or 4 different ones at my certain location, which is pretty nice. But yeah, this figure's sweet. So if you look close, I love the tones, right? So with that original look, so you have like that navy slash, that bluish color. You have the gray outfit. You have the cape that looks really good. It's really heavy though, so it's kind of tricky to get him to stand. But you can also use it as like a prop. So that's kind of what I have him doing now, is he's in a pose, but the cape is also holding him up. And if you look down at the bottom, it's hard to tell on the back, but you can see shading. So it looks like they did a little airbrush to shade it to like a darker tone at the bottom, which looks really, really good. And I love that it's so matte. Like, it's not a glossy figure, which I think is really, really cool. So it did come with 2 batarangs, which you can see in his hands there, and did come with 2 fists, which also are coming around the corner here. So right there, and they look pretty good, so good looking fists. Now, I don't know anything about Batman from Hush, but what I thought was interesting is one of them comes with a ring, which I think is fascinating, and I'm sure that's not like a Green Lantern ring or anything, but if you know the story, I would love to hear it. Feel free to put it in the comments what that ring is for. But that's pretty neat. So, yeah, there are a couple, I do have like 1 or 2 gripes on it, but we'll talk about that later. But overall, like, this figure is outstanding. So it did also come with a card. So you have some really cool artwork here, the same that was on the box. And then you have the data file here. So if you want to read it, just pause your screen now. Okay, perfect. And just did also come with a stand. So kind of your basic stand. So awesome. I love this. So how about we get into the articulation now? Okay. So the head. So this one has a different joint. So it's just down there at the bottom. So there's no neck joint or anything like that. Just so the whole thing moves. So you can get a pivot here. You can get rotation. So the articulation's all still pretty good for it just being all one piece there. But it does look pretty good when you have it posed. Arms go up above 90 degrees. You do have bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, and you do have wrist articulation as well. This one has a really good diaphragm joint, so you can bend it a little far forward, but you can bend it super far back, so far back that you can see the gap there. You can get a really nice side tilt back and forth, which is good. You can get the legs up about that far and go out in the splits, which is cool. You got a little rotation, so you can rotate them side to side there. You have ankle articulation and pivot. The only thing, you have knee articulation, but not a huge fan of the knee articulation. It's just super big kneecap. So what's tricky is, like, it's double jointed, but this thing here just kind of gets a little in the way, so you can get it in some weird kind of poses that seem really unnatural. So yeah, I'm not sure why the knees ended up like that. But when they're posed normally, there's no big deal. But when you do some funky poses, it can look a little weird. But overall, the articulation's pretty good. I'd say highlight is kind of the back diaphragm for sure. You get really good rotation out of it for sure. Arms also really good articulation. Legs could definitely, have a little opportunity there. But overall, pretty good. Okay, here we go. So we have the McFarlane Batman from Hush in the middle. And then we have a Predator, so from NECA Toys, standing a sit on the right. Then on the left, we have Marvel Select Super Scroll, which is kind of like your average size figure. And then on the far right, we have Mr. Freeze. That is another McFarlane Toys, just to give you a height reference. So it looks like Batman from Hush stands about 7¼ inches tall. And that also equals out to about 18½ centimeters, which obviously stands quite a bit shorter than the NECA Predator, which it goes to about its mandible, about mouth area. And then you have your Marvel Select, which stands 7 inches. So it looks like you got about half a head height taller Batman is than the Super Skrull. And then Mr. Freeze stands at about 7¼ if you include the helmet. So they stand about the same height there as well. So overall, as far as height goes, it fits in very well with any of those scales, whether you're talking NECA, Marvel Select, etc. I think fits in good. Now what I want to do is I want to compare it to the Vampire Batman. So the Vampire Batman is right here, and it has a lot of the same features. So I wanted to do a quick comparison between these two. So if you look real quick, you can tell right off the bat, so they use the same head as far as like similar head sculpt. However, you have the same articulation in the head. But this one has obviously the vampire face, which here, let me zoom in on this real quick. So if you look real quick, so you can see. So different types of details right on the face, but looks pretty good, pretty menacing. But you can tell they have the same articulation. This is more the standard. You can tell the bodies are exactly the same mold. This one they went with a brown tone. This one they went with the gray tone. You have the blue gloves, you have the black gloves, you have the same belt, just different colors. So basically what McFarlane did is just recycled this and repainted it and changed the head. Just to let you know, so if you're curious about the gold label Vampire Batman and the Batman Hush, they are the exact same figure, just different colors and a different head. But overall, both pretty sweet figures. And I think I actually looking at these, and you can tell me in the comments, tell me which ones you prefer. If you prefer the Vampire Batman or the Batman Hush. I think right now I'm preferring the Batman Hush in my opinion. So there we go. Okay, final thoughts on Batman from Hush by McFarlane Toys. I really, really like this Batman. So I think, one, I think the articulation is great, especially in the upper half. Just the overall aesthetic and details look really good. And the face is a big win for me. So that is a really cool looking, did such a great job on the Batman face. Like, I think it's the best face that they've done by McFarlane Toys personally. And I think this is one of the best Batmans they've done too. And I love that it's the original look. The only gripes I have, like I said, the knees and the leg articulation is not the best. And that's a little tough. But overall looks really, really good. So I'd say this is for $20, $25. I think this is a good purchase. So I'd say definitely go out and find it if you can, because I think it's great. So again, thank you all so much for tuning in. I appreciate the support. We just passed 1,000 subscribers a few weeks back, so appreciate that. Let's get to 2,000 subscribers. That'll be the next goal, and I'll keep bringing reviews, customizations, etc. for you all. So appreciate it, and I will catch you in the next video.